do the hardest thing first. Just get that thing out of the way and you'll feel really good about yourself, and that will motivate you. When we feel good about ourselves, we feel like we can take on scarier and bigger projects. When we're relaxed, things flow easier and we speak clearer. So just get that thing that you're dreading doing out of the way so you feel lighter. Hello beautiful people, welcome to this video. I'm Alessia and today I'm going to be helping you become a productive woman as opposed to a distracted girly. Now I just want to start off by saying there is a lot of pressure out there to be these big successful workaholics, and I think that really stems from the capitalist society that we live in and the pressure our parents put upon us, our school systems put upon us. There's a bit of fluff flowing into my face. There's a lot of pressure to be successful and to be hustlers, and I don't vibe with that. I really like to encourage people to live life to the fullest, and I think that entails connecting with friends, experiencing nature and culture, and being able to take a break and meditate and read, and time to self-reflect and go for a walk. There's so much to experience in life, and I really want people to get the full spectrum. And I think work should only be a small slice of our lives. Obviously, that's hard because we need money. I know this video very much seems like I'm encouraging you to be a girl boss, productive, hustler, but I really don't come from that place. And I want you to know that, you know, you're worthy the day that you're born. You don't have to prove yourself by being uber successful and having this big label. Boss, CEO, I don't believe people need to earn people's appreciation. I just want to let you know that there's going to be no toxic productivity tips in this video. I just want to give people little tips that have helped me use my time wisely. I never want to push people to work themselves too hard. I'm just so aware that, you know, a lot of us are struggling. A lot of us have depression, which means we're, you know, really unmotivated and we really just don't want to get up from our beds. So I know there's a lot of shame around that. People with depression might feel like, you know, they're lazy, but they're not. They're just struggling, which is understandable in the world that we live in. That really just puts so much pressure on us all. I really want to take that pressure off and let you know that you're enough, just as you are. You know, when I think about the people in my life that I love, my family, my friends, my partner, I don't think, oh, I love them because they're this really successful business person. I love them because they show up for me, because they listen, because they check in and ask how I am, because we have amazing conversations about life and we contemplate our thoughts and we really connect. That's why I love them, because they show up for me and they have beautiful personalities, not because they're some business person. I actually really couldn't give a hooting hell about what their job is. People who appreciate you should appreciate you for who you are. A lot of us feel the pressure to be these big successful people because we just want to feel enough and we want people around us to appreciate us, and it feels like that's how you do it. But I do think if that's how you do it, you're not surrounded by the best people. But anyway, I want to get into the video. Here are some tips. Work in blocks. This is definitely something you've heard before, but I've got a bit more to add. So work in blocks, maybe an hour works for you, 20 minutes works for you, whatever works for you, works for you. But I think if you are working amongst other people, it's really good to let them know what your timings are, when you're in your focus zone and when you don't want to be distracted. Because if you're anything like me, you're a bit of a people pleaser. And if people do talk to you, you just want to respond and you don't want to be rude and you don't want to be blunt and say, look, I'm working, give me a moment. You just drop everything and you talk to them. I think it's really important that we communicate, look, I'm going into my focus zone for an hour, just so you know. So please, let's organise a nice break so we can go for a nice walk around the block together at this time. But I'm now going into my focus zone. I think setting those boundaries with the people who are working around us is so important. Another thing, for those of you that are subscribed to my channel, you might have seen my matcha video. Ditch the coffee. No, everyone, you know, reacts to coffee differently, but for those of you that really have quite a bodily reaction to coffee, and for those of you that really feel the adrenaline rush and just the crazy amounts of energy, and if you have a sensitive body, maybe you need to think about swapping coffee for something like matcha or green tea. I found it really hard to get rid of coffee because I've always been a coffee lover. And I've actually got a lot of sentimental memories attached to coffee and a lot of love attached to drinking coffee. So it has this very positive association for me. You know, I associate it with being in coffee shops with my friends. I associate it with that little high that you get for a little bit until I have an anxiety attack. I haven't, you know, permanently given up coffee. I have decaf, but matcha is phenomenal in terms of productivity because it gives you slow bursts of energy throughout the day, and it means that you can actually get things done and be very consistent throughout your day. Whereas with coffee, I found a huge rush of energy would surge in, and it would mean I could be productive for an hour. And when I say productive, I mean chaotically productive, because there was a lot of energy there. Whereas with matcha, I kind of do feel like energy boost, but it doesn't make me chaotic and restless. I can actually sit down and really make use of my, you know, creative energy. So for those of you that, you know, really do feel a full bodily reaction to coffee and often find it's a bit much and it might trigger anxiety, I really do think it's worth, you know, maybe cutting out for just a week or experimenting. If it's going to benefit your body, it's worth it. It's really worth just giving it a go. I needed someone to tell me coffee's a bit too much for your body, and it's causing you to have meltdowns, and it's causing you to only work for 2 hours and then find the rest of the day a bit too much. When are your productive hours? We're all so different. I love working in the morning. I do think actually my mind is just a bit sharper early in the morning. So I'm lucky enough that I can kind of design my day around that. When it gets past like 5 o'clock, there's no way that I'm producing anything of a good quality. So, you know, sticking to those productive hours and really, you know, being reflective on when you do produce your best work, and if you can, prioritizing that time, I think is really useful. I know this is actually quite obvious stuff, but sometimes we just need reminding of it, don't we? And that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you live your best life. That's my jab. Next tip. So if you've watched productivity videos before, I'm sure you're expecting this tip. Take a break. When you're sat down working, writing, doing your uni work, you're very much in your kind of masculine energy. You're being logical and you're getting things done. And for me, I enjoy that, but it also really can be quite draining. So I like to tap into my feminine energy by going and having a little dance, getting into an outfit that I find really suits me and makes me feel powerful, and just kind of releasing a little bit. Dance away all the rigidness that kind of fills your body when you're typing away. Having a balance of feminine and masculine energy really helps to make your life more fruitful. If you don't know what masculine and feminine energy is, I'll link a video, a very old one, so don't watch it, but watch it if you want to know what masculine and feminine energy is. But yeah, I do think balancing both really helps us to feel better in ourselves and also be productive. It's very important to have those breaks and meditate and be creative and do what you need to do to fill your cup up, so then you've got, you know, water in your cup to fuel yourself with and hydrate yourself with. You need those breaks in order to have energy and time to put into your work. And I hate that we've become so obsessed with work, and we've been pushed to be these workers so much that we now take breaks so we can work better. I hate that. I want us to just be able to take a break because it feels right and we want to look after ourselves, not because we want to be these amazing workers. But I get it. It's the pressure of our hustle culture society. This tip has been so blimming useful for me. Do the hardest thing first. If there is a job that you need to get done, an essay that you need to write that is particularly hard, do it first. If you've got 3 essays, 2 of them are going to be great fun, you feel confident about them, but one of them is going to be really hard. Do the hard one first. If you decide to do the essays that you're confident about first, that will be in the back of your mind, looming over like a dark cloud, and that could actually mean you don't perform as well in those essays and you don't articulate your points as clearly. So just get that thing out of the way and you'll feel really good about yourself, and that will motivate you, because when we feel good about ourselves, we feel like we can take on scarier and bigger projects. When we're relaxed, things flow easier and we speak clearer. So just get that thing that you're dreading doing out of the way so you feel lighter. Take the weight off your shoulders. For me, that means waking up in the morning and, you know, realizing that I've got that job on my mind that I just need to get out of the way, doing it, and then doing the things that are quicker and easier to do after. Okay, my last tip. Because I'm someone who is really, really easily distracted by noises in my environment, and I mean any kind of noise. Just the sound of someone coughing outside can really throw me out of my focus zone. I read somewhere, I'll actually put it up on the screen, that it can take up to like 20 minutes to get back into a very focused zone for some people. But yeah, you can get really thrown off by your environment. So detaching from your environment is something you want to do if you want to really get, you know, a solid good bit of work done. And I do believe that we should have these very focused zones and get really into the writing or emailing or whatever you're doing. I think it's really good to put your all into it and get really involved, and then take a nice long step away and then go back to it. It's really good to get into those really focused zones where we don't get distracted. For me, having big headphones helps me really detach from my environment, because for me it's noise that distracts me, and obviously if people come and chat to me. So having my music playing, a classical instrumental bit of music, does me good. I actually have a playlist that I go back to over and over again now, because I think my mind associates that playlist with work. So as soon as I put it in, it's almost like my body goes work mode. Being very careful with senses, like if you're someone that gets sensory overload, really make sure that you think about that when it comes to, you know, working and trying to be productive. For me, wearing something that isn't itchy or tight, wearing something that makes me feel comfortable really helps too, because otherwise my mind just does feel a bit cloudy and foggy. So I just think, yeah, being really aware of what you can do to soothe your body is really important, because when we're relaxed, as I said earlier, we can articulate things better and we have a clear mind, and a clear mind lends itself to producing better work, right? Also, you know, romanticizing your work experience could be nice. Lighting a candle so it smells lovely, or maybe you're someone that doesn't really want a strong smell because that might take you away from work. I think experimenting's great. But yeah, I'm not going to give any more tips. I kind of want to end the video by saying, I get that you want to be productive, and I think it's good to be productive because then we can have more time to relax and take breaks. But I really want you to know that you are enough, no matter what job you do, no matter what amount of money you earn. I want you to know that the only reason why you're punishing yourself for not being productive or feeling this pressure and you're judging yourself is because we live in a world that prioritizes the wrong things, prioritizes material things. Our capitalist society really lets people down, because it's really hard to enjoy life when the pressure to earn money and constantly be hustling and thinking of all these ideas and being on it and growing up the career ladder really just takes away from our sense of peace and tranquility. Thank you for those of you that watched till the end. You right now watching to the end. Love you. Please subscribe, like, share and comment. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram, where I post all about everything that I talk about on my YouTube channel and more. You're not a work machine. You're a human that deserves to experience life to the fullest.